Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market, and welcome to the Here's Your Crown Women Supporting Women Challenge. This challenge is amazing. It's where we pick someone who has really inspired us and encouraged us along the way, and we honor them. We pick some crafts that they have done and recreate them. This is being hosted by the Freckled Mom, who is amazing, and Connie over at Connie's Nails and Creative Creations, who has also been extremely supportive of me. Today I'm going to honor the beautiful Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. She has been so incredibly inspirational in my journey with crafting, and I cannot thank her enough. Let's get right on into the first craft that she inspired me to do. It's this cute little bowl. This is my version, and I'm going to show you Sammy's version. And they look very, very similar, but I could not find a bowl with those little beads around it, so I had to improvise. I used this clear bowl, the candlestick, both from the DollarTree, those little pearls also from the DollarTree, and then my Waverly chalk paint in ivory. This was super simple to do. I took those little beads right there, and you see it has glue, but they're already like sticky, so I did not have to add any glue to the bottom of them. And I just went around and made 2 lines on the bowl to mimic the bowl that Sammy used in her project. Once I did that, I took some E6000 and hot glue, and that's for the long-term short-term hold, and put the two together and then just simply painted it. Well, actually, as you see, I painted it before I put it together, which I really wish I had not have done, because I just feel like that paint puts a barrier between the glue. So I'm hoping that it's going to be as strong as it would have been had I not painted the bottom of that bowl first. But anyway, so far so good. It's working, it's holding, and it turned out just as cute as it can be. So what we did is painted everything, like I said, glued it together, and then I took some truffle chalk paint by Waverly. This is the E6000 that I was telling you about that I use for the long-term hold, and then that hot glue keeps it in place until this E6000 dries. It takes a lot longer for the E6000 to dry than it does the hot glue. So the hot glue just sort of holds it in place and keeps it good and sturdy until it's all, like dried up and ready to be picked up from the top, because I have done that before, picked something up from the top before it was completely dried and had to start all over. So there I am, just painting the middle or the inside. And you know what I said? I used the truffle. I didn't. I used this Vintage Effects. I'm out of truffle right now and need to go to the store. But I love this Vintage Effects too. It is just as good as the truffle. It's actually something that you would use more on wood, but it really worked in a pinch on this bowl. I did use a little bit too much and got a little heavy-handed, so I took my other brush, which still had some of the ivory chalk paint, and I don't remember if I show you that or not, but I just kind of went back over it a little bit and toned it back down some. And once I did that, my bowl was ready to decorate. So what I did after that is I took some of the moss. It's not called moss. What is it? Yeah, reindeer moss from the DollarTree. Yes, I did show you. So I took this reindeer moss and put it in the bowl and just staged a few of those little faux lemons in there that I also got from the DollarTree. So this little project is 100% DollarTree. This is my version, and I thought it turned out really, really cute and much like Sammy's. She did hers back at Easter time, so hers was staged with eggs, which I thought was just as cute as it could be. And mine is more of a summer theme. So I used the lemons, and you will see that throughout this entire video, the lemon theme. Yeah, there you go, Brenda. Get your tongue straight. There's Sammy's. Isn't that just adorable? Oh my goodness, I love it so so much. There's mine again. Now for DIY number 2, I thought this was just as cute as it could be. This is my version, and this one is Sammy's version. Look how adorable that is. Oh my goodness, I love it. I almost tried to recreate it completely, but it would have thrown me off of my little lemon theme, so I did stick with the lemons. So I took this little cutting board that you can get from the Dollar Tree. Again, another 100%, well no, let's say 95% Dollar Tree, because the paper that I'm using came from Hobby Lobby. That is one of those little pictures that you can get from the Dollar Tree, and it comes with this big, huge label file holder thingy. And I just took that off, put it together again with the E6000 and the hot glue. Now let me tell you what I did with this. I knew I wanted to use my ivory chalk paint, but I also knew that it was going to take a ton of it. So I used this Smoky Beige by Rust-Oleum, and I gave it just a really good coat of spray paint first. And that was just to give it a good base so that I wasn't wasting so much chalk paint to get this all one color. The drawer was dark, and the cutting board itself was super dark, and this was fairly close to the color I was going for. As you see, it was a little darker, but it definitely helped because I only needed one coat of that ivory chalk paint after it dried. So I took one of these little things that I bought off Amazon the other day. Oh, yep, there's something else that did not come from Dollar Tree. Everything that I'm using will be listed below in the description. There's my good old Mod Podge, and I just took the Mod Podge, slathered it all over that cutting board, put my paper down, and then I put another coat of the Mod Podge on top of the paper because it seals it in and protects it. Then I just took some twine from the Dollar Tree, wrapped it around the top, put some more of the moss down in the bottom, and then I had an idea to just take an extra little piece and drop it down in that thing. I don't usually put anything in that when I use it, but I just kind of had an idea to do it this time, and it worked. Once I did that, I made me a little Sammy bow. Now, if you've been on my channel, you know that this is called a finger bow, but Sammy is the one who taught me how to make it, so I always honor her by calling it a Sammy bow. So I took my little Sammy bow and I placed it down, and then I took one of these little roses that come from the beautiful miniature roses that you could get from the Dollar Tree back in the early spring. This is Sammy's version, and I love her version. Absolutely love it. It would go perfect in my kitchen. And this little girl is my version. So make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about my recreation of what Sammy did. Hers literally matches my kitchen to a T. But I really wanted to do this lemon theme, so I thought that turned out cute also. Isn't it just adorable? I love it. So we are going to bounce right on over into DIY number 3. And this one is really absolutely one of my favorites, believe it or not. I love this little thing. It's like a little pocket envelope holder thingamajigger. I don't even have a name for it. There is Sammy's little thingamajigger, and I thought hers turned out so stinking cute. Now, I took this little cutting board from the Dollar Tree, and I had to put a hole in the top. Now, y'all, don't laugh, okay? It was late, and I did not want to go outside and find my measuring tape, so I made my own little hillbilly measuring tape by taking that little board right there, or piece of paper, and folding it in half to find my middle, and then that's where I put my hole. So, y'all, desperate measures. So I took that same paper that I used on the other cutting board, and I Mod Podged it down to this one. You know, some people have a love-hate relationship with this stuff. I have the love relationship. I never have any problems with it. However, my other cutting board did wrinkle a little bit, but that was my fault because I wasn't paying attention. So I take this wet wipe and I wipe down the edges, and what that does is it softens it up. And then whenever I go to use this hand sander that you can get from the Dollar Tree, it makes it super soft and just ready to go. Now this ribbon right here came from Family Dollar, I do believe. And like Sammy did, I just took the burlap, wrapped it around the bottom, and I did seal up the bottom with some hot glue so nothing would fall out of that little pocket. I took that little round piece right there that I believe came from Hobby Lobby, if I'm not mistaken, covered it in the ivory chalk paint, and then took this little stencil that I got from the Dollar Tree and used, it says 4 different things, and I used the one that says be kind. Look at that. How adorable is that? Those things are super duper soft, and you'll see me in just a minute. As soon as I was done, I just took it over to the sink and I used the Waverly Moss chalk paint, took it over to the sink and rinsed it off, and it came right off. It was amazing. So I took my little stencil brush from the Dollar Tree, stenciled it on there, and voila, look at that. No runs, no nothing. You just have to remember to dab and not swipe when you're doing stenciling. See there, it came right off. So then I took my little circle, put some hot glue on it, and glued it down. Now, I did put inside that little pocket a piece of some kind of plastic that came, I think it actually came off of the wood cutting board. And I stuck it down in that pocket because I knew if I put that hot glue on that burlap and pushed it down, I was going to glue it slap to the back of that thing. So I had my plastic in there. I put it down and waited just a few seconds until I knew it was dry, pulled my plastic out, and left the integrity of my little pocket intact. Then I took my little tool that I got from the Dollar Tree, pushed a hole through that paper, put my twine in there, added a few beads like Sammy did, and made my little hanger for it. I love this, y'all. I'm not even kidding. I love it. This is probably my favorite out of all 4 of these DIYs. And then I took those same little beautiful miniature roses. I took the yellow and the cream or ivory color, stuck a few down in there, of course cut them up because they're easier to handle like that. Stuck them down in there and fell in love with my version. My version was very similar to Sammy's version, and they are both just as cute as they could be, and I love them. Love hers, love mine, love Sammy. Just, she is so amazing, guys. I am not even kidding. She is my spirit animal. Look at that. That's Sammy's version. How stinking cute is that? Look, y'all. They're twins. I love it. And then I just wanted to say thank you, Sammy, for being so incredibly supportive of me from day one and encouraging me through my journey to get my channel up and running and pushing me along and nudging me along and just being that amazing support that I truly needed. You have been such an incredible inspiration to me, and I've grown to love you and your family so much. So I honor you today. So for DIY number 4, it is this cute look. There's my girl, y'all. Oh my gosh, I just love her so much. If you've never seen her channel, which I highly doubt that that's happened, go over there. You will laugh yourself like crazy. Well, by cracky, I can't even talk, y'all. It is so late. I was trying to say laugh yourself to death and laugh like crazy at the same time and got all twisted up. So now we're going to jump into DIY number 4. See, I got sidetracked a minute ago with my Sammy girl. So for DIY number 4 is this cute little planter shelf wall hanging. This is Sammy's version, and isn't it absolutely stunning? I'm telling you, I don't know where she gets her ideas from, but I absolutely love them. So I took this Beware sign that I got way back at Halloween, and covered the back of it with some craft paper because that daggum glitter gets every stinking where, and it just gives the back of it a more finished professional look. And again, I take those baby wipes and go around the edge and soften it up, and then take that hand sander and then just go around, and it gives it the cleanest, most smooth edge that you've ever seen. Then I took these 3 crates from the DollarTree and I added them on there with the same E6000 and hot glue combination and got it ready to paint. Now I used the same paint that I've been using all night, which is the Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory, and just gave it a really good coat. I think it only took 1 coat if I remember right. And then I went back in with that Vintage Effects wash and sort of distressed it down, and I absolutely love the way it made this turn out. I think it just added the perfect little touch of distressing, and I absolutely fell in love with it, honestly. So once I got it all distressed down, then all I had left to do was just go back in and add my little, what are those things called, y'all? I know what they're called, like a little label holder, I think is what they're called. And I put my label holders on the front of it and gave it that real pretty finished look and made it match the same way Sammy had hers. Now, what I did do different with mine is I could not find any clay pots anywhere. I know I have some out there in my shop somewhere, but y'all, I can't even explain to you what my shop looks like right now. My husband had been building me some shelves, and I got sick after that and ended up having heart surgery, and I still have not gone back out there and got it sorted back out and straightened back out. But that's a whole nother Oprah show. Anyway, I finished getting my little label holders on there and ended up just decorating it a little bit different than Sammy's, but still very close to what she did. Now, my filming's going to get a little bit funky because of how tall this thing was and my angle. I just could not get it right. But what I did is I took some of that floral moss, put it in the bottom, took a couple of succulents, and, well, I put it in the top and the bottom. Then I put a succulent in the top and a succulent in the bottom. And if you noticed on Sammy's picture, she had a little picture frame inside her middle shelf. So what I did is I took this lemon placemat that you can get at the DollarTree right now, and I found a piece that I liked, and I cut it out, and I put it inside a picture frame that I had left over from something that I did on my last video. Put it in that picture frame and brought the whole lemon theme into this piece, and there is Sammy's version right there. See her little picture right there in the middle? And then now this is my version. That's the top shelf, the middle shelf, and then the bottom shelf. And I just love the way it turned out. And I couldn't be more proud of it. And I hope Sammy's proud of me. And I want you to let me know down in the comments below if you think this turned out like hers, and if I did her justice on all 4 of these pieces. Now, there's going to be a playlist link down below to everybody else that's in this challenge. Make sure you go down to that playlist and you watch what everybody else has created for you today and listen to their stories of the person that they're honoring and not intimidating. What am I trying to say? Imitating. They say imitation is the best form of flattery, right? Well, that's what we're doing. And we are supporting our fellow crafters by picking someone, like I said in the beginning, who's been very inspirational to us and encouraged us along our way. And that has been Sammy for me. Now, here are Sammy's versions of everything that I did. And I'm going to show you one last time, or one final time, all of my stuff that I did all put together. So again, I want to thank the Freckled Mom and Connie's Creations for putting this together and allowing us to support other women and just, having an arena to honor them. This is going to be held once a month, which I think is phenomenal. So thank you, ladies, for doing this. And thank you, Sammy, for being my support and encouragement and the person that I most want to be like when it comes to this crafting deal. So thank you for coming to Monner's Market. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time here and you're here from the playlist, welcome. My name is Brenda. My grandkids call me Monner, and that's where the name came from. So again, make sure you go down to the playlist, watch what everybody else has created today. Show us all some love. Definitely give us a big thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, come on over and be a part of my family. But thank you so much for coming. I'm going to hush and let you just enjoy the last little bit without me japping my jaws. Thanks for coming, y'all. God bless you. Bye now.